Alright, what's up everybody and welcome back to ICYFAR. That's right, I cast your freaking awesome replays. It's been a hot minute. But this is a show where I put out a challenge every month, and I say, here's a weird challenge, go out there onto the ladder, see if you can make it happen, send me your funniest replays, and apparently we've got some good ones. Eon Blue, my buddy that helps me sort the replays, has said, don't look at them first. I know sometimes you want to check if they're good, or you want to plan which replays get cast in which order. He said, just watch. Just watch and enjoy, go in cold. And I was like, okay, buddy, all right. He said, trust me, they're good, they're fun, weird stuff happens. And that's good because the challenge was weird harassment. So for those who don't know, basically this was like one of the most vanilla challenges in terms of the name, but it gives the most creativity to the players. Basically, the weirder the harassment that you can inflict on your opponent, the more I'm going to high-five you and have a higher chance of casting your replay. Now, of course, we do have an upcoming challenge for the next one. We'll announce that later towards the end of the video. For now, we've got... What? Cricetto does not want to have their one gate expand blocked. So I don't know if Battler or Cricetto said this, but Cricetto was so annoyed at them trying to block the Nexus. They pull 4 probes. Battler just moves away, and then Cricetto realizes, wait, I pulled so many probes off minerals, I don't have enough minerals to build a Nexus. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Okay, we are watching some Gold League heroes, perhaps. I'm not quite sure that, I mean, because they are spending their money pretty well and like building things at the right time and stuff like that. But now pulling 7 probes down, looking for the surround. Battler reacts in time. Oh, Battler doing a bit of a dancey dance around, and Cricetto, I don't know. Don't know. What are you doing? Getting a Nexus down can't be that. No, it's so funny because like one of the regular questions I get like for educational stuff in StarCraft is people saying, what do I do when they block my expansion? And I'm like, just go build it somewhere else or spend your money on the other things. And the last thing you want to do is pull 4 probes to attack their worker, then pull 7 probes, and then be like, why do I still not have any minerals? And it's like, I wonder, oh my god, these guys haven't even gone back to mining! And Cricetto is trying to build a pylon inside Battler's base. The counter pylon harassment is going to go for a forge and try to cannon rush. 2.5 minutes into the game, my lord, this is disaster stuff right here, guys. Battler knows about it. I mean, all Battler needs to do is pull a few probes, walk the Stalker over, and this will not work. Once again, 5 probes got pulled. Cricetto, what are you doing, mate? Cricetto is playing one of the most disastrous games of StarCraft I've ever seen. Now, Battler, to be fair, is also like, what is happening? And is floating money like crazy, whereas Cricetto is spending their very little money since they've lost so much mining time. There's a Stargate, and now Battler is going Fleet Beacon, which makes no sense, guys. One base, what? Like, one base carrier? You can't support carrier production off one base. You get, like, 1 carrier out. Cricetto still doesn't have the money to expand. You can tell the probe keeps going there and goes, oh, I don't have money. And then spends the money on other things, and then goes back and goes, oh, I don't have money. And then spends the money on other things. You're trapped in a cycle of stupidity, Cricetto. Please. I still don't know who sent this replay in, by the way, because they've both kind of done weird harassment to each other so far. There's something beautiful about PvP at like low level when both players don't know what they're doing, because like it just feels like it's so random what the players do. Like I try to think about the decision making, but like this is 2-gate, Forge, Cannon, Battery, Wall-Off into Twilight Council on one base, up against Stargate into Fleet Beacon on one base. But does Cricetto even know what a Fleet Beacon is? I mean, you'd think so. That's a pretty obvious structure, right? Does take down the Adept. The Adept takes down 1 probe there and make it 2. Not too bad. Not the best micro. Could have gotten the mineral line, but still better than nothing. Meanwhile, Battler is... No. Is... Are you serious? Battler is building a Nexus on the other side of the map. By the way, Battler never even finished saturating their mineral line. Battler is building a mothership, which is being chrono boosted, and building a Nexus. So I think Battler is going to recall the mothership from this Nexus to this Nexus and then fly it into the base. Unfortunately for them, Cricetto's got Dark Templar on the way, and there's no detection available whatsoever for Battler. Battler also has no units other than 1 Stalker, 1 Void Ray, and a 2nd Stalker on the way. This game is an absolute disaster. Now, Cricetto may have done real dum-dums in reaction to that probe, but actually, I guess maybe they're paranoid about a cannon rush. It must have been paranoid about cannon rush, right? It's still a terrible response when they haven't even put a single pylon down to pull 4 probes and then 7 probes. But maybe just got cannon rushed the game before. You guys let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure this is indicative of a cannon rush having happened in the previous game. I'm pretty sure. We're going to build a battery outside the base as well. Very interesting. Lots of gateways coming down. I feel like Crooketto could win this game if they just make enough stalkers to shoot down Mama. There's a Tempest that's going to rally across the map. So check this out. Okay, here we go. Battler is about to pull it out. Battler is going to recall the Void Ray and the Mothership to this Nexus. Yeah, there we go. Recall goes down. They teleport across the map down to the bottom left outside the base. And then we're going to build another Stargate here just to build the units closer to the front, even though it's still one base. Oh, he's going to try and mine gas off this base as well. Why not? You do need more gas. Dark Templar's going to walk out. Barely misses seeing this. And the Void Ray and the Mothership are going to fly into this natural and ruin Crooketto's day. Oh, man. Oh me, oh my. But there's no detection, remember. Remember, there's no detection. The Dark Templar maybe can do something. If you make enough Stalkers to take out that Mama. Now, Mama's got 700 hit points and 2 armor, so she does not die easily. But it's definitely a possibility. Dark Templar is going to be walking in, Stalker patrolling the map right now. As that Dark Templar goes in, that's going to be a real problem. Battler looks like he was trying to wall off, but then pulls back. Okay, Battler's trying to make an Oracle right now, trying to build more pylons to repower that Stargate. If the Oracle gets out, they'll be okay. Mama's going down, but no! Attacking with just 4 Stalkers, and even on move command there, you could tell Crooketto was trying to click on the Mama and accidentally clicked on the low ground below her. Pylons getting focused down, but I don't think in time. Only 1 Dark Templar was not enough. 2 gateways are going to get depowered here. And going in 2 Stalkers at a time is not enough. I mean, Crooketto absolutely needs to be staying back and fighting with the battery, but he's throwing all the Stalkers away on their own. Oh no, Crooketto, what are you doing, mate? Uh-oh, Crooketto needs to repower that. Oracle is out now. Hasn't been used to tag yet, though. This all takes multitasking and micro, things which these players clearly do not have. The Oracle does revelate, turns on its laser, but it runs out of energy. It runs out of energy. The probe! The probe's gonna get it. The probe's gonna kill the Dark Templar. How often do you see a probes kill a Dark Templar? I guess occasionally when they surround it in a mineral line, but that's about it. Mama with the 6 kills in the main. She's not really getting the critical damage. Stalkers are still warping in 1 at a time. Wait, there's a gateway at the front. 2 at a time, actually. So Crooketto can deal with Mama. She's down to 260 hit points, 250. So she's actually not that tanky anymore. There is a Tempest out, 200 hit points, 100 shields. Oracles are out as well. Battler really should be building a forge to get some cannons up. I'm surprised more Dark Templar haven't gone across the map. They could ruin Battler's day. This base here could also get ruined by that. But of course, actually, Crooketto does know about it. Crooketto went past here with the Stalker. Oh man, stop chasing with these only Stalkers you have. Crooketto's going to go back to mining on the natural. Needs to be warping in Stalkers, has repowered the gateways, but doesn't seem to be warping in at all. The gas income, why is it so... Oh, I just realized, look at this building placement. Crooketto's gas mining here is so bad. Needs to put like 6 workers on that gas to actually get efficient mining out of it. Luckily, he's mining off the natural now to help make up for that. Still not making Stalkers, though. I can't believe it. Dark Templar's going to go in and start attacking things on this base. Unfortunately, okay, the Observer's there, so can actually see it's going to take out the probe. Still not warping in Stalkers. Crooketto, what are you doing? 4 Stalkers are going to warp in, more than a match for that Tempest. Blink has not been upgraded, but that's okay. They will gun it down very quickly. Battler. Oh no, that's one of only 2 Tempests you got. The Stalker even pulls back to the battery for a little bit of healing. Very nice play by Crooketto. Takes it down. Dark Templar does get cleaned up, as well as the Observer by the Revelation. Mama is still alive with 7 kills, a Tempest and a Stalker on the low ground. Battler's only on 1 base, though, is making Oracles, which seems cute. The Tempest is going to try and shoot these Stalkers down. As long as they just stay back, let the Tempest come in real deep, and only then go forward, then Crooketto is going to be good. I mean, especially Crooketto's building cannons? Why are you spending your money on cannons and batteries? You need Stalkers, things that can move forward and kill the air units. Crooketto seems allergic to ever building more than 3 or 4 Stalkers at a time. I don't understand. Finally, Crooketto, what are you doing? It's doing super advanced, pulling back of weak Stalker micro. But look at that, Mama gets back. The battery heals are a little... Overcharge does go down. Okay, pull back. There's an overcharge. I don't know if he realizes there's an overcharge there. But, oh, the overcharge starts healing the Tempest at the last second. Stop bleeding into this. Pull back, Crooketto. What are you doing? This game is so easily in the bag if you just pull back and get a critical mass of Stalkers, but you just bled out 10 Stalkers to damage some units. Oh my lord, this... This is StarCraft. What is this? More gateways going down. Crooketto, I think finally realizing just warping in Stalkers we could still isn't making blink for him though. Mama's still very low. She could die to like just a couple of volleys, but you can tell Crooketto keeps changing targets. Crooketto keeps right-clicking on units, and it's always the worst unit to right-click on. So Crooketto with some absolutely abysmal micro needs to just pull back, stay behind the buildings. The funny thing is, Battler's not done any damage to your economy. Like, there's no onus on you defending this bit of high ground. Like, he's not in your base killing your probes. Like, let him come to you, mate. You haven't even used battery overcharge yet, you know? But no, Crooketto, having the patience of a drunk lemur, says, no, I gotta get in there, man. I don't even know what a lemur is, to be fair. A lemur. Kind of look like a meerkat? I don't even know. Anyways, Carrier's on the way. First Carrier's gonna be a problem. So there's a Void Ray, 2 Tempests, Carrier, 3 Oracles. Stalker's like, okay, we warped in a round of Stalkers. Quick, let's just A-move. No, wait for more. Crooketto, do you not have brain? Crooketto not has brain. Battery overcharge plus Mama gonna be way too powerful there. Does get a Tempest and an Oracle and a second Oracle. Wow. Okay, and a Stalker. That's Crooketto's best trade of this game. Crooketto's gonna warp in another 4 Stalkers and then run in and take the fight. This is like my favorite thing about like low level players is like they just like when they see enemy they always just go and take the fight. Like they never, this is why I've talked about this so much in like Bronze to GM and all my educational videos, like when your opponent goes to attack you, you can pull behind your base and not run into the meat grinder and fight them straight away. Like you can like make some more units and like take a fight that's like coordinated and they're like, no, me charge. And you're like, I don't know if that's a good idea, dude. The Dark Templar are there trying to build a new Oracle from scratch. One of them is already on the way over here. Battler does not have any economic progression. It is not really that active with the Tempest Siege either. Mama and the Tempest try to harass Crooketto, and Crooketto's brain seems pretty broken by it, so it does seem kind of successful. The Carrier might save the day. It's only 5 Stalkers. Why are you going with only 5 Stalkers at a time? Like, what is this? Is this like, is Crooketto an AI? You guys know when you play like an AI and they always send you these small waves of attacks at you, or like, it's like almost like pre-planned ones in like a campaign. The Void Ray has not even been helping. That thing is idle down to the south this entire time. This game is an absolute poop shoot. Do you guys think Crooketto, I don't know how long this game goes for, but do you think Crooketto ever gathers more than 10 Stalkers before going? I'm going to say no. I think Crooketto is going to maybe warp in 1 or 2 more Stalkers and then go. Crooketto is going to keep expanding and throwing Stalkers away 5 to 9 at a time. 9 at the absolute most. And Battler, without ever getting any mining more than 1 base and a tiny bit of gas they mined off this expansion, I think is going to win this game. Just because they're actually preserving their units. I mean, it's 3 times the cost efficiency for Battler just by moving back and forth. And Crooketto's answer to this is, I need to take 2 gases on my 3rd base and build more pylons right now. And look, goes in with 3 Stalkers. Why? Why would you fight with 3 Stalkers? No! And he warps in 1 round, it's like 7 Stalkers. That's an army, that is. Let's it go. Jesus Christ. What are we watching? Doesn't this make you feel better about your own level of play out there? Oh, Silver League, Barry, Gold League, Jennifer, whoever's watching this, you all feel bloody good about it, don't you? I know you do. The battery overcharge just trickling Stalkers. Another 4 Stalkers warp in and they walk over there. It's amazing that Crooketto has like got a 3rd up and is actually macroed kind of half decently in this game. But yeah, the inability to just pull back against a siege that so far has tickled a gateway. That's the only damage Battler's siege has done. But the real damage has been emotional. Yeah, basically the Stalkers are just friggin' headbutting in a few at a time. And at no point is Crooketto like, just make more Stalkers. Crooketto's like, I'll make a Dark Templar. Imagine if a Dark Templar hit the economy of Battler. If he kept trickling Dark Templar in as well, that would be huge. Now, there is observers watching for Crooketto. Crooketto has great vision. Is going to send a DT across the map, which could be huge. But somehow it's still only at 5 Stalkers. And, like, that's the crazy thing here. And is again, please pull back. Okay, that was just Crooketto not watching. Further back. And Blink starts. Crooketto's realized that Blink would be a good idea. Oh my god, Crooketto is evolving before our eyes. Unfortunately, Battler's building 2 carriers at a time and is fully walled off, so the Dark Templar needs to be clicked to here so that it actually starts attacking things. As it is, it's just idling on the low ground, and that is a problem. Don't go 4 Stalkers versus equal number of Tempests. Come on, man. Come on. There's 3 Stalkers fighting a carrier up there. Oh, my lord. Oh, man. The carrier's just like 1v3, 1v4ing Stalkers. The Stalkers are all just running around. Oh, my lord. This is actually painful. We are seeing Cricketto's soul leaving their body here. He's just going to warp in one round of Stalkers and run into the meat grinder. Like, it's amazing because I'm used to players adapting at lightning pace at pro level. And then as you go down, it's like, it's slower, but it still happens. Cricketto has not made the adaptation. Cricketto has not realized get a big pack of Stalkers together before fighting. Cricketto still has been nowhere near getting 10 Stalkers up. Now that Dark Templar is going to walk in and potentially do some big damage if it gets in the probe line. Carrier is there. The Stalker count is growing. Third base is going down. It's still such a slow build-up of army for Battler that I definitely see it as potential, you know, you could win the game here. The Observer's a little far away, but it moves down. Carrier does clean up the Dark Templar. Stalkers warp in over there, or actually run up there maybe. Maybe they recall? Did they recall? Yeah, he recalled Stalkers to the Carrier. Kills a Carrier. Heck yeah! Let's go! Let's go, Cricketto! Cricketto's going back to probing though, and that can't be the play right now. It needs to just be making Stalkers, and then being careful with where and when you fight with them. Battler's completely out of money. So Battler has no money left, is just long distance mining off this base. So there is way better income for Cricketto. And Cricketto's just gonna leave, which makes absolute sense. Yep. Battler just created a stressful enough situation and then watched Cricketto beat themselves. Very well played, Battler. And recalling a mothership across the map and then flying into their base, that's pretty friggin' cool. So hats off to you for that, mate. Definitely weird harassment. Alright. Let's go straight into the next game, eh? We got South Korean down here in the bottom left side up against a barcode in the top right side of the map. Now, I forgot to mention at the end of that last game, so we should definitely say it now. If you guys want to get your replays in for the next one, the challenge is Ruthless Growth. And you don't have long to get them in. Sometime in the next week or two would be best from when this goes live. So, definitely could have given you all a bit more warning on that on YouTube, but of course, keep an eye on my Twitch channel. You guys can drop by my Twitch anytime and type !ICYFAR into my Twitch chat, even when I'm offline. And my bot will tell you what the current challenge is. So if you guys ever want to get your replays in, go and do that. And, you know, 2 mirror matchups in a row. Normally, pro games, I'm not as interested in mirror matchups, just because obviously it's more interesting to see the different factions fight each other, even though there are great mirror matchups out there. Really depends on who the players are. But if this got submitted and accepted and made it through our vetting process, I am sure it's for a very good reason. And hey, a couple of mirror matchups in a row is not too bad, as long as the game is an absolute wet fart. An absolute disaster. I don't even know, man. I don't even know why wet fart is the term that came to mind, but I guess it is. Double gas opening, top right for WTL. Single gas, looks like an expand for South Korean. By the way, guys, from Clan Prick, I don't think an actual Korean person would name their account South Korean. You guys let me know. I'm going to go ahead and say South Korean is an American, is what my guess would be, who has heard that Koreans are very good at StarCraft, and as a result, they're like, South Korean, because I want to play like a South Korean man. I don't know. I don't, you know, I haven't looked at who sent the replay in. I don't know which player it was or anything like that. That's my guess. You let me know if you agree or not. Factory does start up. Okie dokie. Let's go. And it looks like a Reaper into Depot. Yeah, I was like, man, surely go Depot. Depot, usually Marine, and then Factory here would be the normal order for things. But, oh, greedy boy. South Korean's going to go straight for Reactor after the Reaper. Luckily for them, WTL barcode up here. Mr. Matchsticks. I think we'll call him Matchsticks. Yeah, Matchsticks. So Matchsticks in the top right is going Reactor as well, which means they can't hit a crazy fast aggression to take advantage of it. So going for the Reactor actually helps out. And actually a second barracks. Are we doing a 2-1-1, mate? Okay, wow. Very rare to see a 2-on-1 in TVT. That's 2 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, which of course culminates in a double medevac drop. With 2 medevacs, 16 marines, stim pack, and that hits a usually about 5-minute 20 mark, somewhere like that. That can be deadly in this matchup because people just aren't really ready for it, especially if you're spending all your money on Reapers and Hellions. Problem is, Reaper Hellion pressure is going to hit way before you have stim and a good marine count up. So, oh, South Korean thought they misplaced the base. They lift it, they land it again, start the orbital commands, and maybe just a button misclick there. Yeah, I think a 3 Reaper 2 Alien pressure is unstoppable because you're going to have a few Marines unless you build a bunker. If South Korean builds a bunker, I think their build's fine. Otherwise, they are being exceptionally greedy. Now, that being said, they can take a lot of damage because this is no expansion yet. Dude, Matchsticks is really going all out on the aggression. Another depot before expansion? I mean, this is a crazy aggression. It's going to be a Liberator in the main and Mass Reaper Hellion on the natural. Wow, okay. This is some crazy aggression out of Matchsticks. The Reaper's going to come in the left side. APM tells us this is probably a Diamond League game. South Korean with some almost pro gamer APM. And Matchsticks with some Platinum League, maybe low Diamond APM, I guess. So probably somewhere in the middle. Maybe mid Diamond, I would guess this match at. Reaper's going to go after some SCVs, do a little loop-de-loop. Now, seeing that your opponent... Okay, the Reaper comes back and deals with it. I mean, you see the Liberator pop out, which is very good scouting for South Korean, but you still don't have a bunker. There's not that many Marines either, guys. The medevacs have started, but Stim was super late. You meant to start Stim before you start the starport. He did not do that. South Korean's in trouble. Trying to get up the ramp. The Marines are going to try to hold them off while the Drilly Boys get out. Really good evac. Oh, that's so good. Reapers can jump up, though. If the Reapers jump to the high ground, the Hellions can sit on the low ground, and you can pick off, like, all the SCVs and Marines really well. But one Reaper... Oh, he even pulls back the weak Reaper. Wow, this is pretty advanced play. I guess just enough Marines to scare them off. The bunker's trying to go up. South Korean's looking pretty dead. Not going to lie, guys. Those Hellions could obliterate the SCVs. One Hellion falls. If the Marines can get rid of all the Hellions, then maybe, just maybe, another Marine does come back. It looks like, okay, South Korean's going to maintain control of the main base without critical SCV losses for now. Command Center starts behind this, of course. The Liberator is coming in from that top left side as well. Behind this, tanks and Marines are building. Another depot goes down on the low ground. Oh, the Liberator gets stopped! South Korean actually with some fortuitous positioning. Now remember, they did spot the Liberator coming across the map, but still very well timed to realize that was coming in. Marines and tanks are going to move to the south side. Reaper Hellion here trying to move forward as well. Ooh, SCV's taking some big damage. Youchie, ouchie, ouchies. Oh, man, the tank's not covering. Okay, the tank is going to defend it now. Bam! Second shot. Reapers get inside the minimum firing range of that tank. You can tell it can't fire inside this small area around it. With the Marines coming up and the Unsiege. That will be a successful defense for South Korean, but at what cost? Massive damage went down, and they're going to put SCVs back on gas. They're going to start mining. They need depots desperately. They really need depots. More depots are starting, and definitely feels like an advantage for Match 6. On the other hand, Match 6 doesn't have the most organized base. I mean, the way Match 6 opened up, highly aggressive on one base, you got to look at this and you got to say to yourself, does Match 6 know how to play a macro game? And I know that might sound condescending. Pig, you always think anyone that attacks doesn't know how to macro. Guys, it's not my fault. I see patterns in StarCraft, and I notice that certain players out there, they make a cool, cute attack. You think that's really cool. Now they'll just need to, you know, macro up to follow it up and win the game. And then you look at their base and you're like, oh God. Like, this building placement tells me that their mind is a chaotic mess. You know, Maru's kind of messy with his building placement, not this messy. These buildings, add-ons on some, no add-ons on the others. Oh, the drops are going to pass each other. There's a drop coming in. South Korean catches the drop of Matchsticks. Oh no, you don't want to lose the medevac, but you just used your boost. You can't use it to get out. Finally comes off cooldown. 8 Marines will survive in that medevac, but dude, at what cost? South Korean's going to go do a Viking drop by the looks of it, but there's a turret and a tank which will easily block that. 8 Marine drop is down there. South Korean's a little panicky right now, trying to deal with this. Match 6 just going to leave that drop, realizing it's been spotted. No reason to go in there. And it looks like South Korean with some tanks and a Marine are hanging out in a very random spot of the map. I don't know why, but they are. South Korean's also going to send a drop to behind their own main base. They are so paranoid about this Marine drop. It's actually doing damage without even doing anything. Depots are building right now, but you can see, yeah, no reactors. Massive supply block to the point we're building 5 depots at once. Still haven't started +1. No third command center. And it looks like where who scanned who? I don't know who scanned who there, guys. Sorry, I didn't catch it. Oh! Where, what? Did South Korean just scan the back of their base? I think he thought the medevac slipped around the back. He just scanned the back of his own base to see if the medevac was hiding there. It's just there. It's just there. South Korean wants to get aggressive. 2 tanks and a big pack of Marines with stim and shields on the way. And looks like another one. Okay, he's looking for the third base. There is no third base. Your own third command center is on the way. South Korea never got a chance to build extra barracks. Finally, the third barracks and the double engineering bay are going down after that third command center. So signs of a more normal macro follow-up. But look at this. A tank marine drop going down the left side. Oh my god, Match 6 has nothing. There's one tank. Actually, okay, enough to hold the main base for sure. This army comes in. Match 6 is going to move forward. Sieging that tank on the ledge is huge. Oh, it sieged in range of the enemy tank. That is a disaster. But the medevac pulled back, so he didn't actually get the third shot off in time. The second shot was so delayed that actually Matchsticks got that second and third shot off before the opponent. Here we go. Double drop comes in now inside the main base. Oh, if that tank gets sieged, that could be a game winner. But here we go. Marines trying to stim over South Korean, trying to siege a Liberator. He needs to pull everything and go. But South Korean kind of derping a little bit. The Liberator gets some amazing shots. Oh, he's going to defend with the Liberator. But at the same time, Marines drop in and take out the siege tank. Oh, that's going to go down. Marines and tanks are sieging this natural. I mean, that's taking big damage. But look at this. He doesn't realize South Korean doesn't know about this drop. He's got so many units in the main base. They're just not dealing with it. Oh, that's a disaster. Marines are going to stim down. If Match 6 can defend this natural, Match 6 should have this game in the bag. And, oh, South Korean picks up boosts in towards the main base, but there's tanks in there. This is a trap. Uh-oh. This is a trap. That tank actually doesn't cover the very edge, but, oh, man, dropping in range of a turret and a siege tank. Ow! Ow! Not a good drop. Not a good drop. Luckily, 8 Marines will survive in a medevac. They're both on one base mining right now, but keep in mind that this is still getting delayed. There is 3 command centers. There's just so few SCVs actually mining right now. South Korean tunnel visioning on the micro is only mining 280 minerals a minute right now, but does have 3 command centers. If South Korean can get a third orbital and just start dropping mules, South Korean could still get back in this game for sure, because it's only 2 command centers. So this game has turned into utter chaos. Both players throwing out all sorts of wild, non-stop harassment. I'm sure there's someone out there who's already in the comments saying, "This is not weird harassment, it's normal." As always, guys, if you just are creative in the way you use normal units and it creates chaotic, crazy situations, there's a high chance of those games getting picked for ICYFAR. I mean, this has been an absolute poop shoot so far. This has been a disaster, but it's actually kind of evened out relatively. Like, if South Korean get a little bit more damage, that could be big. And Match 6 is loading the entire army up. 0 map vision and is going for a doom drop. Match 6 is a bloody chaos lord, mate. Match 6 is boosting the entire army across the map. Oh god, don't fly over there! Don't fly over the army! If these Marines stim and catch that drop, that'll be huge, but they see the tanks. I don't think the tanks saw them necessarily. Maybe they did. The tanks and Marines are going to start shifting forward. The Doom drop versus giant army shoving in. Match 6 willing to give up the natural as long as they hang on to the main base. And on the other side, South Korean caught completely unawares. That command center is taking big damage. This tank a little too far back from the ramp to fully cover everything. Oh man, the production is going to get absolutely diddled. South Korean in big trouble right now. The siege tank is getting some big damage. If you can hold your main base, you win this game, Match 6. But that's a big if. Oh, that's a big if. Yeah, no, the tank goes down. A lot of Marines did fall, though, for South Korean. I feel like South Korean lost so many Marines there, but they've got the tank advantage. SCVs are going to try to pull. The Marines trying to defend those. The tanks trying not to friendly fire each other too badly. And it looks like most of those SCVs will go down. Only a few escaping. Nice lift of the buildings. Command center went down for South Korean. The second command center is going to go down as well. Third one is escaping right now, as well as some buildings trying to. Siege tank's only going to take out 1-2 Marines and does get taken out. Man, this is a crazy game now, but I think Match 6 comes out on top because of the Marine superiority. On the other hand, 3 siege tanks, 1 or 2 good volleys. These players have shown they are not peak StarCraft players, so having a double the Marine count should give you the mobility to win the game, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. And rebuilding barracks and factory, I don't know, does that make sense? You've still got a barracks on the map. You don't really have any mining right now. Trying to build these buildings out in the middle of the map definitely seems like an expensive endeavor. And they're just going to get found. Yeah, so definitely not the greatest placement for South Korean, even though building some production is a good idea. Oh, this command center, if it gets caught, that's a big problem. Because that is your supply, that is your mining, all that sort of stuff. It's the reason you might be able to keep producing units now. There's still a bunch of depots left alive for South Korean. Whereas Matchsticks is supply blocked. If South Korean loses those, then they definitely can't rebuild anything. The Marine tank clearing out these last buildings. Looks like Matchsticks is going to move over and take the natural and build a command center in the main, saying, yeah, you know, there's a couple thousand resources. That'll be worth eventually getting this command center up. And we've got a factory trying to build, or actually trying to float there. So 2 barracks and a factory trying to float to the top left. And it's 8 SCVs for South Korean. So South Korean actually has a better economy right now. 8 SCVs, but with a second command center coming in, Match6 might be able to do that. Oh, new command center building as well. South Korean's going to play the hidey-hide game. Is this game going to full reset? This could actually turn into a long macro game. Yeah, because you can't really leave just your tanks defending. But I definitely think if Match6 sends out like a double drop, they might be okay because they've got enough Marines. They could still do well. He's going to send a single drop out looking for the bases. You can see these buildings that were building earlier, but of course they are all floating away now. It's going to be a factory and 2 barracks, as I said earlier, floating up here. Tanks are going to siege up, going to try and defend this base. I mean, you got to focus on depots and SCVs more than anything else. Those Marines going to take out Match6's last depot, and of course supply blocking Match6, which is vital because Match6 may have 2 command centers up, but can't build SCVs until they have more depots. Match6 is trying to float a starport back. Ooh, getting Banshees with Cloak. Yeah, that's going to be huge. Tech Lab Banshee is massive in these scenarios. Looks like the drop up here, did it go down? No, it flew away. Okay, the barracks and the factory are landing. Both sides need to be building depots right now. I guess this command center will unsupply block South Korean. It should be SCV production and depots non-stop. SCVs and depots, because whoever can rebuild is going to be in a big advantage. Now, Match6 is not thinking about the economy because Match6 is a massive cheeser, as we saw from the start of the game. They're dropping mules, taking gases. They just want to get Cloak and Banshees, or maybe even a battle cruiser, but Cloak Banshee is usually the best thing in this scenario because they've got very little detection. Man, neither side is really pumping SCVs. You see massive gaps in SCVs production. You both should be able to defend. Just rebuild your economies, mates. Starts building 2 SCVs there, but not building anything off this corner base. The corner base is a little bit more awkward to macro off. Drop's going to come around the left side, try to hit this mineral line. The tanks and the Marines are spread pretty well, but they're not completely defending the mineral line. And right now, you've got more than double the workers for South Korean compared to Match6. Match6 is not building SCVs at all. It's supply blocked right now. South Korean is only building them one at a time. You're completely forgetting about the command center in the bottom right. Both players are clearly thrown out of their element in this chaotic scenario. Drop's going to come in behind. If you can kill 4 or 5 SCVs, that's a game changer. Got to pull those SCVs away, South Korean. Good pullback. Doesn't lose a single SCV. Siege tank defends. Really nice play. And lots of Marines. Match6, careful, mate. Dude, you've got so little economy and so little stuff. You can't be just throwing a drop away and not looking at it. Oh, man, these guys are crazy. Obviously, I've played hundreds of games in crazy scenarios like this. I've cast many more as well. I'm a little more used to it. These guys don't seem to be too practiced in this scenario. Marine drop going to go on top of the Banshee. If you stim those Marines, they could kill it. Oh, that's huge. But micros the Marines in the wrong direction. Oh, man. South Korean drops the ball. South Korean's up at 15 SCVs, still at double the worker count, trying to get an engineering bay, which is very smart, needing turrets, but forgetting about the base for so long. On the other hand, luckily, working in their favor is the fact that Match6 indeed has appallingly bad macro. Took double gas, realized they have no minerals, pulled off the gas almost immediately, and is like, yeah, I probably should build some SCVs. Oh, this sort of game's so dumb. Oh, South Korean realized that could have been up to like 4 mules by now, man. Anyways, turrets building, which is a very good idea. South Korean has a better setup, but what do they do with it? Once you realize you're both just in this sort of rebuilding phase, that's the hard thing. I think that's the real thing. It's the recognition of, hey, you're just trying to rebuild. I'm just trying to rebuild. This is not about massing army. A Doom drop, round 17. Match6 has been Doom dropping all game long. Scans, sees the tanks, sees the Marines, and is thinking about where can I surprise you from? Where can I Doom drop? So the medevacs are just going to boost home right now. The Banshees will try to defend this main base, but any damage here, even just taking out add-ons and stuff, forcing the army back is pretty effective. South Korean's got to feel good about that. We should be seeing all the mules dropping on this base over here, the hidden one right now, and putting a bit more gas mining, which South Korean is focusing on at this stage. Behind it, of course, on the south, Match6 rebuilding the factory for the first time. And the Banshees are going to try to move north. There's no scans that got saved, which is definitely a problem, guys. That, oh, flies into turret range, though. Plenty of medevacs to heal up those stims as well, so the Banshees haven't done much, man. 3 Marine drop. Oh! Oh! Marine bomb in those siege tanks is going to pull a bit of damage on, but not enough to actually finish it. Good reaction by Match6. Okay, if I had to give odds at this point, I mean, South Korean took so long to re-macro, their advantages slipped away a little bit. economically. On the other hand, it does feel like they just have a bit more infrastructure, right? I mean, they're down at barracks, but they've had the factory up much longer. Unit count is now equal in Marines. Matchsticks has 2 more medevacs, but is down 3 siege tanks. And South Koreans just going to go for a big push. I think South Koreans probably got this with this push. Leaving a tank, some turrets, and some Marines at home. Looks like that starport will get picked off. It's going to pull the whole army home. No, go win the game, dude. Imagine if tanks get in range. Even just denying the factory is huge. Getting a contain going would be massive. Marines going to stim on top, take out the Banshee, or at least damage it for now. And not saving scans versus Banshees does get you in big troubles, guys. Marines are going to have to try to stim back in there. The SCV's trying to pull back. South Korean is in a bit of a holding pattern. Finally takes out that Banshee. There we go. Behind it, Matchsticks is like, well, you killed my Banshee. I guess I'll start building SCVs now, but it hasn't transferred any up into the main. That main also doesn't have that many minerals, remember. So Matchsticks is running low right now. And I feel like Matchsticks only really knows one play, right? Which is Doom Drop. But isn't doing it, is just going out with the Marine tank. By the way, do either of these players use army groups? Matchsticks, no. South Korean does, but it looks also like it's just an F2 all-on-one control group. Does split the medevac off, though. Looks like they alt 7'd that to steal that away. Very nice. Marines coming forward. Guys, Marine count's pretty similar, but there's more Marines here for WTL Matchsticks right now than there is for South Korean. South Korean, whoa, buddy, I think you're fine to take this fight. Oh, especially with the tanks? Yeah. Oh, big tank shots. Very nice. The Marine drop, not told to unload. Told to fly the mace, but not unload. It's oh my lord. What are you guys doing? The Marine drop gets unloaded. There's nothing mobile to defend. Okay, I think South Koreans got it. Maybe they are South Korean, guys. Look at this Marine micro. Keeping their opponent on the back foot. Finally moving across the map with a push. They've got 2 starports. I think they thought the first one was going to die. Those Marines do get picked off by the enemy. But the tanks should be able to siege here. We're going to try and no, don't run in like that. That's not enough Marines to take out those tanks, is it? Oh, he's going to try to do it. Oh my god, South Korean YOLO's in like a Chad. Does get the tank siege, but the counter drop from Matchsticks on top of the tanks. Matchsticks Marine bombs the tanks and stims out and punishes South Korean for getting a stiffy. Oh no, South Korean just needed to keep it their pants on. Needed to waistband that shiz, man. But they could have just sieged the tanks and had a great position. But trying to shove just like, what, 13 Marines in to take out 2 siege tanks? Questionable decision, especially unless you have super advanced micro. Marines are going to try to counter drop. There's a few tanks and Marines here, so it still looks pretty well defended. I don't think this is game over. South Korean's economy still sucks. He's having to float a command center out to a new base. Does have a Liberator coming. The Marines are going to shove in right now. Oh, I think with the tank shots, though, there's only 2 Marines left. They get gunned down. Good defense. Units lost up slightly in favor of Matchsticks right now, but Matchsticks needs to find this corner base. If they don't find that, they're in trouble. I definitely want to see some more corner bases and hidden bases for South Korean, as well as continuing to do drop counterplay. Liberator's going to move through the middle of the map as well. Man, I love that they traded bases. They swapped sides, and it's just been so close since then. Like, it's rare for 2 dudes fighting in a bar to not just have one get like knocked out or seriously injured within the first 10 seconds, right? This is like that rare fight where the 2 drunk dudes in the bar or on the street are like fighting, but they're not like really doing any serious damage to each other, and it turns into like a real back and forth slugfest, and everyone's just kind of watching and stunned that it's still going. Like 15 minutes later, you walk back past, you're like, oh, they're still... And they're just tired and they're kind of slapping each other and like, you're stupid. No, you're a fucking idiot, man. And they're taking the occasional slap at each other. Marine Viking will come in. 7 kills though, not bad, man. That Liberator definitely did some work. 2 bases versus 2 bases. At no point has either player decided to really progress their position in a big way. I mean, there's a lot of production, I would say, for South Korean. But if you're going to build all that production, you really want to be building 50, 60 workers, getting some engineering bay upgrades, which neither side has done all game long, taking a 3rd base, most importantly, all that sort of stuff. Liberator's going to fly through the army. That's unfortunate. Vikings and Marines will see it. Liberator does actually repath. And don't lure him to your hidden base, mate. Okay. This army's moving around. Actually, it's going to be a big Marine counterattack. Just defending with tank Viking? That's smart. Send all your Marines and medevacs to counterattack. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that third base is completely undefended. 2 barracks are building there right now. The Marine tank here isn't going to do anything. I mean, the best thing you do is maybe siege up a reactor or like kill a depot or something. Yeah, look, he's going to go up there. The Viking is going to win for South Korean as it's shot first. The other Viking's going to come over as well. You can tell everything's getting F2'd like mad right now. Third Command Center is getting built for Matchsticks. Matchsticks seems to be realizing like, okay, this game's going to go on for a little bit. Liberator's actually going to get rid of that siege tank. Very nice play. And gets the third shot off. Tank goes down. Third Command Center is actually finished for South Korean. One's only building right now. But I wonder why South Korean isn't taking more bases. I mean, South Korean needs to just focus on Marine production, I feel, and get mobility back. The moment you have the Marine advantage, you'll be fine. But for some reason, there's Marauders that have been built this game as well. There's 3 Marauders in the mix. 3 Liberators building at a time? I mean, what in the heck is that for? Usually it's like 1 Liberator to force a tank to unsiege is basically what it is. Maybe to harass, which could be big. Matchsticks is starting to batch up their macro. 4th and 5th barracks. 3rd Command Center's up. Neither side still knows how to hold down the SCV production button. There are points in the game like this where it stalemates or like, you know, you both standoffish. It's really nice to just queue like 15 SCVs at once, I feel. Scan goes down, sees a big army moving to this left side of the map. So you know you're about to run into his army. You just saw his army. You just saw his army. South Korean. South Korean. Careful with those Liberators and Vikings so far in front of that army. South Korean. What are we doing, mate? Okay, there we go. Sieges the tanks. Nice micro. Sieges the Libs. The Marine stim. Great fight for South Korean, actually. The Marines actually do really well. The tanks helping out, and I don't know why Matchsticks went out there to fight that with those siege tanks. It wasn't really an ambush, you know. The moment South Korean pulled back and sieged his units, you have to back out of there. That siege tank's going to go down, guys. You can see the siege tank down here. The Marines getting picked off first. The Marines are going to go in here at the end of a 24-minute game. It looks like finally, South Korean is going to win one of the biggest poop shoots I have seen in a while. South Korean opened 2-1-1. Oh! How do I lose to an effing noob? Matchsticks. I thought Matchsticks would be the way more chill player of the two. You both played like baboons, man. I like that the guy who was just doing like doom drops over and over again was like, how did I lose? I mean, oh, you're such a noob, man. Oh, GG, I love it. A little bit of salt mixed into ICYFAR. Very nice.